So before we get into combat, I'll just do a little bit of the role playing, and then we'll go through the mechanics of what the combat is all about. All right.
Okay.
So you are your character for the purposes of this exercise, and you wake up and you find yourself in a fairly dark cave. There's some bioluminescent moss that's providing dim illumination, and it seems to be a small room, maybe 10 feet by 10 feet by 10 feet, so it's effectively a cube with some rounded edges, brown rock, rugged rock along the side. You're not sure how you got here, and you can't actually remember the last thing you're doing. You think you were having breakfast. Maybe you had some bad Wheaties or something and passed out and woke up here. So as you're looking around, there appears to be only one exit from here, and it's a tunnel directly in front of you that is also lit by bioluminescent moss.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
So, can I observe the moss?
Yeah.
Closely?
Okay, so you want to take a closer look at the moss and observe it. For this game, all of the abilities, when you're doing something that potentially has any kind of chance of success or failure involved with it, I'll have you roll one of your skill checks, so strength, agility, intelligence, vitality, or luck. If it's simply a matter of, I want to look at the moss, give me some more detail on it, if there's more detail that I can tell you about it, I will. So in this case, you look at it, and it's a fuzzy green moss. It's sort of in broad patches across the ceiling and the walls, not on the floor. The floor is just dirt, and it glows a gentle green. However, if you wanted to do more than just look at it, if you wanted to, for example, try and peel it off the wall, if you wanted to try to find some way to communicate with it, if you wanted to search and examine it to see if there was some sort of fancy pattern on the wall that had some sort of secret in it, then I might have you roll, for example, an intelligence check to see if you're smart enough, wise enough to determine anything special about it. Or if you wanted to try and pry it off the wall, I might have you roll a strength check, depending on how tough the moss is. So, you've inspected the moss. What now?
Would I have to roll an intelligence check to see if taking some of the moss would make it any easier for me to see the ground?
Ah, yes, you could do that. Roll an intelligence check. And so what you'll do, for the purposes of this, this is a little more like D&D. I'll have you roll a d20. So if
okay, I have one of those.
Somewhere. Good. So what I'll have you do is... Actually, what's the best way to do this? Your intelligence is...
15.
Yes, okay.
Which is fairly high.
Yes. Wait, what? Did I put this under the wrong... I think I might have rearranged the numbers here somewhere, because what I sent to you... Oh, I have...
You have... Intelligence Fighter is 1, Red Mage is 10, White Mage is 15, and Black Mage is 20.
Yeah, okay, weird. Somewhere along the lines, numbers got switched around, so the chart that I'm looking at says you have an intelligence of 5.
Okay.
Okay.
That's significantly different.
Yes, not so good. All right, so, well, this is good, because I'm sorry, I need to work out really quickly how the skills are going to work. I was going to do roll a d20 and add your modifier to it, and I was going to have a DC, a difficulty class, a number that you need to hit in order to do it. So you know what? I'll just do it that way. Roll a d20, add your intelligence modifier to it, and I will tell you if that's sufficient to do whatever it is that you want to do.
So is it going to be the 15?
Yeah, so roll your d20 plus 15. That's what it's supposed to be.
So I got a 5, add 15, that's 20.
Okay, 20. So you're trying to determine, yes, you have determined that if you manage to scrape off some of this moss, it should probably stay bioluminescent, at least for a little while, and will help you light your path.
Okay. So I try to do that, would that be
okay.
Strength or...
It feels like it's fairly solid, and it's stuck to the wall pretty well, but it's not completely immovable. So, yeah, roll a strength check. Okay. So d20 plus your strength score.
So 8 plus 5, so 13.
Okay, it's 13. 13's enough. It's on there tight, but not horrendously tight. So yeah, you managed to yank it off. You now have this patch of moss that feels all gooey in your hands.
Okay, so I'll go down the tunnel, whichever direction it is. Dennis. Go Dennis.
And you're just holding it in your hands?
I'm holding it close to the ground a bit to see if I can see anything that might not be lit by the walls.
Yes. So you don't see anything terribly interesting. However, as you proceed down the tunnel, you notice that there's less and less moss, so it is getting to the point where it's pitch black, except for your glowing pile of moss in your hands. So you come upon an intersection, and you would have run smack face into it, face planted into it, if you didn't have the glowing moss. And it looks like, well, you don't know which way is north or south or anything, but you can go right or you can go left.
Okay. And I can't make out anything different about either path aside from the direction? Or...
No, you can only see about maybe 5 feet in front of you.
So beyond that, they look identical?
Beyond that, it's pitch black.
Okay. I'll go left.
Okay. So you start to go left, and off in the distance, you start to hear, it sounds like crying.
Okay. So I'll continue, but slowly, and if the tunnel curves at all, stick to the wall to sort of be behind it, just in case it's a trap.
Yep. All right. So you stick against the wall, and you come around a corner. It curves off to the left, and you notice that there's more and more of this bioluminescent moss in there, so you can finally see again. And there's an old man who's sitting huddled up on the ground against the wall, and he's weeping.
Okay.
He doesn't seem to notice your presence.
Okay, so I want to start talking to him, but in a way that doesn't startle him.
So go ahead. What do you say to him?
I'll start making sounds, sort of quiet sounds with my feet as I walk closer to him, so that he hears me coming. And it's not just a voice. Okay. And then I'll say, "Excuse me, sir. Are you okay?"
Roll an agility check to see how coordinated you are at doing this.
Okay, and that's still the D20?
Yes.
13 plus 5, so 18.
Okay, so you roll an 18. You don't really startle him. He seems to notice without you tripping over your own feet. And he looks up and he stops crying for a second. And he says, "You there? What are you doing in here? Where did you come from? You have to help me find my way out."
So I just came from the tunnel back here. There's a path that veers off to another direction further back, but I'm just as lost as you are.
Oh, it's too dark that way. I can't possibly go out there.
I have some moss some of this moss that's on the walls that can help us see better.
Oh, I didn't realize you could take it off the walls. Well, what are you anyhow? I don't recognize you. I've never seen anyone like you.
I'm a white mage from place Melmond.
Oh, yes. I've never heard of that before. Or, well, white magic, that sounds like... Can you bleach my laundry?
It's generally good. It's good healing stuff. It usually is helpful.
Oh, that's what you call it. I don't suppose you know any magic, do you?
I don't think I've gone to the magic store recently.
Oh, you haven't. Well, I found this, and he holds up a small book. He says, I can't decipher it. I don't know what it says, but maybe it'll help you. It feels magical. And so he hands a book out to you.
Okay, so I'll take it and look into it and see if I can discern.
All right, you take a book, and you read it, and it's written in magical runes, and you can understand them. And it is a single... There's only a single page in the book, and it says, "This book grants the reader 1," and in parentheses, 1, in like rune parentheses, 1, magic spell of choice. Say the name of the spell, and it shall enter your mind immediately. There are 4 of them listed: cure, harm, fog, and ruse.
Well, cure sounds like what I'm supposed to do, because I'm the white mage, so I think I'll go with that.
And then you see fine print that says, all of these are white magic spells, by the way. You should use all of these.
Okay, but I can't use all of them.
It says, but you should, but you can't.
So it's cure,
harm, fog, ruse.
Cure, harm, fog, ruse. Well, it's dark enough that I don't think fog would be that helpful.
And then you notice some smaller text that you can just barely read that says, but wait, all of these abilities are useful. Cure can help you recover hit points if you've been damaged. Harm helps you damage undead creatures. Fog helps defend you against attacks. And Ruse helps make you easier to dodge attacks.
This is a very helpful book.
Yes, I am.
Can I ask the old man if he's feeling like he needs curing at all?
Oh, nothing that your magic can cure.
Okay. And
Let's
let's have a little fun with ruse then. It sounds like it would be fun.
All right. So you speak the word ruse, presumably, and then so all of a sudden your mind expands and you feel all of this knowledge that you never had before, just all of a sudden. And I will paste this into Skype. Boom.
Okay.
So that is your magic spell. You have as many magic points as are stated on your character sheet at the moment. So you can use that as many times. I think it's, 3.
I don't think that does the character sheet say
It should say it's on. I think it should be under MP up at the top. Oh no, I didn't. Oh, I didn't specify. I didn't tell you how many magic points you have.
Okay, I assumed that we didn't start with any, and you got them as.
No, you do. I forgot to list that there. Ooh, well, that's something to address then. Yeah, I'll get to that. You should have 3 magic points to start. So you have 3 use of ruse.
3 use of ruse.
So, what this means is ruse. It's normally it's 100 gold to learn it from a spellcaster who charges you for it. WM is White Mage, so that means only White Mage can use it. White Wizard as well, but that's not going to be relevant here. And then grants evade plus 80 to one ally, yourself included, for 1 battle. So, your evade is the chance of you possibly dodging an enemy attack.
Okay, and that's plus 80% points.
Yeah. So I mean, it's plus 80, so it's plus 80%. So if your evade is normally 5, it'll be 85 is your evade, which means you're almost guaranteed to dodge.
Right, because all of our evades are in the 50s.
So that's like guaranteed dodge at that point.
Okay.
Unless, and that's not going to be relevant in this game, but unless something has like drastically reduced your evasion.
Okay. All right.
So yes, so you'll be good at dodging stuff. So anyhow, he says, well, was that helpful?
It seems so. We'll have to see. I guess, but we should probably start trying to make our way out. Is there any other way out of this besides the way I came?
I don't know. I've only been here a few minutes, but it's terrifying out there. It's dark.
Well, I've got the moss, so we'll have to make do. But just standing here isn't gonna solve our problem. So I'm gonna look around the room, see if there's another way out of here besides the way I came in.
I'll follow you. You take point.
All right, I take point.
Okay, so the old man starts following you around. He's pretty spry for an old guy. He's kind of fast.
So checking the walls to see if there's any exit besides the one I came in.
Okay, so for that, you can roll an intelligence check.
Okay. So 9 plus 15 is 21.
So you don't determine any other special anything about it. It's just follow the path back the other direction. Okay.
So go back to the intersection and go the other way, unless something happens while I'm walking.
Okay. So you follow the path back in the other direction, and suddenly you hear some scurrying. Sounds like scurrying of many feet.
That sounds pleasant.
It's coming from ahead of you in the tunnel.
Okay. Well, I definitely keep the moss close to the ground because scurrying things are probably low. So keep an eye out for whatever might be ahead.
Okay. And then you start hearing screeching, like a screeching bird of some sort, and then up ahead.
Okay. So there's scurrying and screeching. Cool.
And then you start to hear the flutter of wings up ahead as well as you continue down the hallway.
Okay. I'm gonna pull the moss back up a little bit in case there's stuff in the air too. Is there moss on the ceiling?
At this point, no. It's still pitch black down this tunnel.
Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of wave it around to try to get an idea of what everything looks like as we're walking through.
And then you hear a blood-curdling scream.
Oh, yay.
And then it says, for more sound effects of terror and horror, please flip the tape over to side 2.
It's flipped.
All right, so...
I might have knocked some dice off the table.
There appears to be not much of anything up ahead. You curve another corner, and then you see off in the distance, not too far, a little bit of light streaming in. It appears that there's a staircase leading up out of the cave.
Okay. So I guess we'll go that way, because that looks helpful.
Okay. So you start heading out, and the old man says, oh, sunlight! I miss sunlight! And so you start to walk out, and you march up the stairs, and then at the top of the stairs, you seem to not actually be anywhere near a cave anymore. You're standing outside now, and you're out in the dirt near a patch of grass, and it looks like somebody just built a staircase into the middle of the ground that went underground. And you look around, and you're standing in the middle of a carnival. Very large, big top tents all around, all sorts of lights. There's a big chain link fence, very tall, very barbed wiry at the top, all around the entire circus here. And there doesn't seem to be anybody around.
No.
So of particular interest, there's this humongous big top tent at the center of the compound, and there's a series of smaller blue tents around, all very small, and there's a big wooden shack toward the fence.
Okay. So there's what's sort of near me, like right where we are.
You are closer. You're between the wooden shack and one of the smaller blue tents.
I think we'll go up to one of the smaller blue tents and sort of peek in and see if there's anything in there.
Okay.
But not like secretly.
All right. So to do it secretly, you should roll an agility check to be stealthy.
Okay.
Agile, swift.
Agile. 3 plus 5 is 8.
You tumble in like a drunken ox, and fortunately there's nobody home. This appears to be the dressing room of one of the circus performers. There's all sorts of chests and wardrobes that all seem to be locked, and everything's down. There's a mirror, there's some makeup, and a variety of things. And there's a very nice-looking large white cloth. Looks like some sort of a tunic of sorts that's draped over the chair that you're not sure, but you feel like it has a faint glow. It's calling to you.
I'll go over and examine it more closely.
Okay, so you pick it up, and it is basically a huge poncho. It's white, and it's got this zigzaggy Charlie Brown style red stripe along the bottom, and it's got a hood, so it actually looks to be about what your white mage costume normally would be. You look down and notice that you've been running around in your boxer shorts the whole time, so you're not actually dressed right now.
So I think I'll put that on, and it'll be a good excuse since I woke up in my boxer shorts, and it was cold.
The old man says, I was meaning to ask you about that, actually. All right, so you and I will copy-paste this into Skype. You now have a cloth. It's worth 10 gold when you buy it. Can be equipped by Fighter, Red Mage, White Mage, Black Mage, in the party anyhow. And then it gives you +1 to your Absorb and +2 to your Evade.
Okay, and what's Absorb again? Is that on here? There it is. Much damage. Okay, cool. So it's 1 damage, and it gives me... So when it says +2 Evade, is that to the percent?
Yes.
So if I have... What is it? If I have 53 Evade, then now I have 55.
It's now 55. 55,
okay.
Yes. So, make sure that that's not a permanent change, because you've still got your base stats.
Right.
So if you happen to find different armor, you'll just swap out whatever the bonus is for the cloth.
Right. I've got it down here. And for now, I'll just remember it.
Okay. So, you're now wearing a cloth, and he says, yes, you're much better to look at now. Anything else?
Thank you.
While you're
Question mark. I don't want to steal anything that's not mine and get anyone mad at me. So.
Aside from the cloth you just stole.
I have an excuse for that one.
You're a horrible thief.
I'll give it back if they really need it. But it's cold. Alright, I'll go back out and let's check out the wooden hut because it looks interesting.
Okay, so you walk outside and start to head toward there, and you notice you notice outside the sky, it looks to be dusk. It's getting fairly dark out now. All of a sudden, it was bright enough to shine sunlight downstairs, but it got dark real quick. So you head over to the shack, and it's locked.
How strong is the door? Or should I probably knock first before trying to force the door open?
All right, so you rap on the door, and you hear a voice in there saying, "Hello, who is it?"
It's like, a traveler and, well, 2 travelers, who were lost and we were hoping you could give us some guidance as to where we are.
You're standing out front of my shack. Congratulations, you found it.
It was more hoping for a broader sense. where we were.
You're far away from the big top in the center of the compound.
Can we come in? It's getting dark, and we're not well equipped to deal with anything that might come out at night.
You can't come in, but you might not come out.
Oh, well, when you put it like that, it sounds hard to resist.
Well, I mean, you might come back out, and if you do, you'll be better for it, but you might not come back out.
I think we're gonna. Why don't we come in, see what this person's talking about?
Okay, so you agree to come in?
Yes.
So you hear a click, the door is unlocked, and the door swings open to find a big empty floor in the middle. The shack is bigger on the inside for some reason. There's like 30 by 30 foot wooden floor. And then up against the walls are jammed all sorts of clothes and all sorts of weaponry. You see armor, you see a stove, you see an outhouse indoors just in the back corner. You find a bed, you find all sorts. It's basically a complete home, and then some. It's like a smithy as well, a complete home and smithy, all in this tiny little shack that is ridiculously large inside for some reason.
Impressive.
But you don't see anyone.
Oh, okay. So what is the old man talking about? What's the old man's name?
You haven't asked me my name.
Yeah. What's your name, good sir?
Philbus.
Philbus. Well, Philbus, how are you feeling about all this?
I just woke up in a hole, and then I followed a half-naked man outside into a carnival, so how am I supposed to feel?
Okay, Philbus. Well, I'm gonna go in a little bit and explore further. Try to make sure you come in a little bit, but try to keep the door open in case any shenanigans start happening and we need to make a quick escape.
Very well. So he stands there for you, and you walk inside.
Yeah.
And as you walk inside, you get 3 steps inside the door, and then you hear a hi-ya! And then, like a flash of lightning, you're in a battle with this tiny, tiny, tiny dwarf woman. She's all of 2 feet tall, and she has a dagger, and she has this fire in her eyes, and she says, "Yes, fresh meat!"
Okay.
So,
cool.
So we are in combat. Here's how we're going to do this. We are going to roll for initiative, which is in the rules that I sent you. So for this, everyone rolls a d20, and this is simply whoever rolls the highest on the die gets to go first. If you roll a 20, you and your entire team get to go first.
Okay. So I rolled 14.
Okay. I rolled a 7.
And what about the
old man's not involved.
Okay.
So.
He's holding the door open like a champ.
Yeah. Okay. So this is.
I forgot his name. What was his name?
Philbus.
Philbus.
Okay. I need. Oh, that doesn't have a tip on it. There we go. All right. So, you have the first move.
Okay. So I'll roll my attack. Well, wait. Do I have a weapon? That might be important.
You do not have a weapon.
But do I still get my regular attack?
Yeah,
stuff?
Whatever your stats are, you can still attempt to attack, but you probably won't get very far.
Right, but there are weapons all over the.
There are weapons all over. Yep.
Okay, so here's since I'm not quite sure about how this would all work, I'm just gonna illustrate my game plan.
Well, yeah,
here.
You tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you what you need to roll or whether you're successful or not.
Okay, so I wanted to first look at the weapons and see which one might be the best to use, because I don't want to grab a big battle axe and then realize I can't swing it.
Okay, so you do a quick search over. It looks like there's a good variety of weapons. The only ones that you would be able to use, you see a pile of hammers close by.
Okay.
In fact, it's a barrel of hammers.
Now, where is the dwarf lady in relation to those hammers?
Okay, so you're 3 steps inside the door. This door is still wide open. Actually, the door slammed shut behind you. The woman was hiding behind the door, so she's just slightly behind you and to the right. The barrels are 10 feet away to your left.
Okay, so she's not in the way?
No, she is not in the way. She's almost opposite side of you from the barrel of hammers.
Okay, so if I were to back up to get the hammer, how dangerous would that be?
If this were any other game, I would say, you might provoke an attack of opportunity, or you might need to worry about movement, speed in battle, that kind of thing. Because this is super simplified and Final Fantasy focused, I'll just let you say you use your turn to go do whatever thing it is that you're going to do. So there's no risk of getting attacked for it. There's no nothing. So instead of doing anything else this turn, you run and grab a weapon.
Okay, so I'll go grab one of those hammers.
All right, so you run and you grab a hammer. Bing! You now have a wooden hammer. So...
Which is going to appear in my Skype in a second, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Bing! So, normally worth 50 gold to buy. Fighter and the... wooden armor. You reach into the barrel of hammers and you pull out some wooden armor and start to wave it around. Then you throw it aside and say, this isn't a weapon. And then you actually find a... even better than a wooden hammer, it is an iron hammer. Bing! Which is normally worth 10 gold, can be equipped by the Fighter or White Mage. Damage +5, hit +9, hit percent +9.
Okay. All right. So, let's see, my damage is 2, so now it's 7. Hit percent is now 14.
Okay. So you picked it up, and in the process of picking up, you've equipped yourself with it. So, bing. All right, you're good. Now she takes a look at you and says, we're going to test your metal against my metal. And so she stabs her knife at you. And it's a very sloppy swing. She seems so excited that she's got somebody to spar with. You can't tell if she's trying to kill you or just trying to spar with you, but whatever the case is, she takes a swing at you, but she's so excited that she's not very focused on actually hitting you. So it is a sloppy enough hit that you may be able to dodge it. So go ahead and roll an evade check.
And that is
a D100.
Okay. So that's 16. Oh, that's not very good.
Oh, actually, so 16 is what you rolled on your D100?
Oh, but I add that to...
Oh, no, that's not adding. What this is determining percentage. So I might even draw up a bar graph to help people visualize this. So this, unlike other things, you want to have a lower number. Lower number is better. So If you think of a full 100% meter, your evade is, 55% right now? So picture that bar graph filling up to 55%. So you've got the 55% that's in the green, and then the other part from 56 to 100% that's in the red. So you just rolled, you said, a 16?
Mm-hmm.
So your 16, visualize how the 16% would fill up on the bar. That's still within the green. That's still within your evade percentage. So your 16 is low enough. It's lower than the 55, which means you successfully dodge.
That makes sense.
So,
gotcha.
Bingo Bongo, you swiftly dodge out of the way. No damage done. She frowns at you. Now it's your turn.
So at any point where the attack is able to be evaded, that's just what would happen.
Yeah, that's what would happen. So you would roll your evade. So normally, if she rolled an 82. Her hit percent is much, much lower than 82. So because the initial advantage goes to the attacker. The initial attack is you're probably going to hit no matter what. If you roll within your hit percent, it's a guaranteed hit. If you don't roll within your hit percent, then it opens the floor to the defender to do an evade check.
Okay. So my hit percent is 5. So if I roll, or I guess we're about to see that. So
yeah. So go ahead and roll. And so you'll need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 on your 100% roll to be able to successfully. Oh no, I'm sorry. You're trying to hit now.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So roll your hit.
So my D100.
Yep.
So that's 99.
Okay, so
that's either really good or really bad.
That's really bad. That's way the heck higher than you want it to be. You want as low a number as possible when rolling percentages here, because you only have a very, very tiny hit percent. So,
right. Wait, but it's not going to matter. But my hit percent went up 9, so it's 11.
Yeah, so that's better. It still doesn't matter here.
Yeah.
So what that means is that you've attacked, but it's a sloppy attack. It's not focused. It's not a guaranteed hit. So you swing wide enough that she might be able to dodge out of the way. So let me roll an evade check.
Okay.
And aha! So she actually does successfully evade because she rolled a 5, which is well within her tolerance limit.
Okay.
So
now she attacks.
Yep. Swapping blows, nothing happens. Yes. So now it's her turn to attack. And she lets out a blood-curdling scream as she, again, is just so excited in a frenzy that she's, not even coming close to hitting you. So she might whiff. Roll an evade check.
Okay. So anytime you say evade or hit, you roll the 100.
Right.
Okay. 69.
So that is not within your 55 range.
No.
So you don't actually evade. She manages to hit you before you can get out of the way. So she does it to you. Oh, good gravy. What is your starting HP?
28.
Yes, okay. She does a mighty 6 damage to you.
Okay, so now I have 22.
All right, you're up. The old man calls to you from outside. He says, "How are you doing?"
Not too bad yet, but not too good either. All right, so let's try to hit one more time and see what happens. So I need to get, for it to be a completely successful hit, I would need to roll an 11 or lower.
Correct. Well, guaranteed hit would need to be.
Yeah, guaranteed. So, I rolled a 4.
Okay. Oh, now side note. What is your base hit percent score?
5.
Okay, so you rolled a 4. 5 is your base. If you roll equal to or lower than your base hit, that, is a critical hit.
Okay.
So without taking all the weapon bonuses into account. So in that case, just add your luck score to your total damage.
Okay, so the damage is my base 2 plus the 5 from the iron hammer. So that would go up to 7. Then I add my luck. So that's 12.
12. Boom. Oh, and actually, I need to adjust the weapons then to give you a range of damage. It shouldn't just be a solid 5. It should be like roll a d4, roll a d6, something like that. So yes, I will need to address that.
It says DMG plus 5.
Yes, no, that is correct. That's the way I sent it to you. I meant to change that before I went it out for playtesting. So that's something to remember to do. But yes, that's fine. So what's your total damage?
So 12.
12. Okay, so you smack the woman over the head, the poor little dwarf woman, and that seems to be too much of a hit for her. She just boom, falls, keels over. Okay, so you have won this battle. You feel the sort of urge to throw your hands up in the air in celebration, and then you lower your hammer. It looks like she's not dead, and she's almost unconscious, but she's just sort of swooning, and she looks up and she says, "That was wonderful. I haven't had any kind of excitement, nobody to fight with in so long. Thank you for beating up on me."
Okay.
She says, "As a reward, you can keep the hammer, and
thank you.
There's a couple of potions in the chest over there. If you can bring one over to me, you can keep the rest."
Okay. I comply.
Okay, so you go over and you open up the chest. There are 3 heal potions.
Mm-hmm.
They're sort of a white, cloudy liquid, and they say heal written on the side, like a sticker on the side of the glass vial. Or it's like a rounded bottom kind of a flask. So you take 2, you give her one, she drinks it up, and she stands back up. And she says, go on ahead now. I'm sure you probably want to get out of this carnival.
Yes. Is there anything you can tell us, though? Because we're very lost and we really have no idea.
I can tell you that my voice sounds very, very funny for a female dwarf.
Your words, not mine.
I can also tell you that the giant tent in the center is probably where you want to go, because if there's anybody who can let you out of here, it's Bonzo the Clown. He kind of runs the show, ever since the ringleader ran away.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go see him. Is there anything else we can do here, or should we just be on our way?
No, I think you should just be on your way.
Okay, then I'll head out.
All right, so you head out, and the old man says, "Oh, you're not dead.
Not yet, anyways.
Although you do look like you've sustained a little bit of pain."
Yeah, it was a bit of a scuffle, but it looks like we're better for it, and I show him what I have.
Oh, very good, very good. Let me make a note to myself about something. Things to add and streamline. I'm so glad we're doing this because there's a couple of little things that I keep forgetting about. Yes, so you are outside, and he says, "I overheard the whole thing. So we're going to the tent in the middle, are we?"
Yes, I believe we should do that. That'll be the best way to get answers.
Very good. So you proceed, presumably, to march over to the tent. And inside the tent, there are the there's a couple of entrances here. They're the big box seats, you know, the stands that go back for the crowds, the audience. And there's 3 rings in the center, and there's some big pillars supporting the tent. And you see standing in the middle is a sad, lonely clown.
So am I still at sort of the entrance?
Yes, you're sort of at the entrance. He's a good long way. He's like 100 feet into the tent.
If I called out hello from there, would he hear me?
Possibly, but we're talking Final Fantasy, so you'd need to get like right up next to him to talk to him properly.
Oh, okay. So I guess we'll head over there.
Okay. So you start to walk across, and now you do start to hear scuffling of something.
Oh, again.
And this time you don't hear turn tape over to side 2. So you start to walk across, and you get up close. And this clown, this is a very gaunt clown, very malnourished clown. It seems extra sad. He's not crying, he's just sad, staring listlessly at his big comical red shoes.
So are we close enough to talk to him?
Yes, you're close enough to talk to him. You're close enough to smell him, too. He smells like peanuts and elephants.
I guess there are worse smells out there. So I would say, hello, my friend here and I are sort of lost. We ended up here in what I've been told is your carnival from a cave below the area. I was wondering if you could give us some sort of directions or tell us exactly where we are.
He looks up. His left eye is bugging out, and his right eye's twitching a little bit, and he says, "You want direction? The direction is that I'm going to put you back underground where you belong. Get him, boys!" Battle begins. Roll for initiative. As Bonzo the Clown looks at you with his menacing, evil smile. And as you start to see, digging out of the ground from the other 2 rings, there are 2 skeletal clowns that are coming at you as well. They still have the big red nose on, and they have some blush on the cheeks, well, the cheekbones, really. And they have clown hats and funny clown shoes, and are otherwise terrifyingly creepy.
Okay, I rolled an 8, which isn't very good. Is 8 generally low?
Well, if one of the guys rolls a 5, so we have... The old man says, "I'll help you." All right, so what's your number?
My number is 8.
8, okay. So first up is... the old man actually gets to go first.
Well, you did say it was rather quick.
He is. He's surprisingly good at his job, you know? And then that's you. By the way, what is your name?
I'm Wizard Joe. I'm so creative.
No, it's got to be 4 characters.
Oh, it's got to be 4 characters?
Yep. 4 letters. So think about that one. Be ready.
Okay.
All right.
So should I think about it for now, or just say it when we get
Say it
ready?
when we get into the quest. Think about it for now.
Okay.
So the old man gets to go first, and he rips off his old man vest and his old man pants, and they just seem to be one continuous unit. And you see this gleaming breastplate underneath, and he's got these gold gauntlets, and he's got these big, thick boots with lightning bolts on them, and he's got this gigantic sword that he pulls out of some sheath that he was hiding from somewhere. And you're like, where has this man been hiding this? So he says, "Yeah, ready for battle!" And then he rushes forward, and then forgets what he's doing because he rushes off in the wrong direction. So he turns around and kind of looks back and says, "Oh, the battle's over here. Sorry." So he's wasted his turn. Go ahead. I'm sorry, the skeleton. The skeletal clown comes over to maim you next. So, skeletal clown actually runs toward the old man and attempts to hit him, and that is going to give him the opportunity to dodge. And the old man successfully dodges. He just leans back, like does a matrix dodge, leaning backward as the skeletal clown takes off his left arm and swings the bony skeleton arm at him as a weapon. And so it's your turn, Mr. White Mage O.
Okay, so what's the thing look? So is Bonzo, is that his name?
Bonzo the Clown.
Bonzo the Clown, is he like right directly in front of me?
Yes, he is right directly in front of you. And then you've got Skeleton off to either side. The one on the left is engaged with the old man.
And is that...
Well, I mean, they're not like engaged, but, you know.
So they're like So the old man ran off to the left, right? I mean, correct.
The left.
Okay. So, I have a feeling. All right, I'm gonna go after the other skeletal clown that isn't engaged with the old man.
Now, time out for a second. DM to player, or GM, I guess in this case, because I'm Game Master, not technically Dungeon Master, because it isn't Dungeons & Dragons. So GM, Game Master to player. Your role in the party, you are a support role.
Right.
Now, even though there's only one of you, and the old man may or may not be helpful, your primary role is to ensure that other people stay alive as long as possible.
Okay.
So what else do you have that may help ensure that?
Oh, yeah, I have my spells, or my spell.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't I'll do... So if I cast this spell, will that be the only thing I do this turn?
Yes, that'll be the only thing you do this turn.
Okay.
So you can cast it on yourself, or you can cast it on the old man.
I'll cast it on the old man, because it seems like the right thing to do.
Okay, so you cast it. You don't need to, there's no close range, you don't need to touch or anything like that. You just cast it, and this big glow of light appears in front of your hands, and you can see a sort of shimmery glow surround him. And it turns into sort of an illusion, almost like these illusory mirrors just got set up over him. And it sort of looks like you're seeing multiple old men just sort of shifting around through each other. It's very difficult to tell where he's actually standing right now.
Okay.
So that is your turn. And then the other skeleton runs in to assist Bonzo, who's a little slow on the draw right now. He's too busy calling in his minions to really focus on the battle at the moment. And so the skeleton rushes in and tries to attack you. And you have a chance to evade, because swinging around, he rips off his right leg and starts swinging it at you. So his skeletal leg with the ridiculous clown shoe on the end, which is not a terribly effective weapon. Might be painful if it hits.
All right, so roll my d10. And this is an evade, so it's 33, which is within my range of evade.
Oh, wrecked. Okay, so you successfully dodge the swinging leg. All right, and now it's Bonzo's turn. Bonzo no liking you, so he attempts to swing at you to attack as well. And that's not winning any marksmanship contests, so roll an evade.
Okay. 46, still within my range.
Okay, you successfully dodge. So he tries to bite you with his malicious clown fangs. It's back to the old man. The old man swings at the skeleton, gives the skeleton a chance to dodge, and the skeleton amazingly does dodge the old man. It's a wonderful lunge, but he lunges straight through the skeleton's empty ribcage and doesn't actually stab anything. So they're locked in combat. The skeleton retaliates, and also not a very good hit. The man successfully dodges because he's so rusy right now that nothing can possibly hit him, unless it makes like a really good attack. And then the White Mage, it's your turn.
Okay. So
you've got the skeleton on your right, and you've got Bonzo the Sinister Clown in front of you.
Okay. The ruse lasts the whole battle, right? No matter how long it takes.
No matter how long it takes, lasts the whole battle.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go for a hit. Let's just go for a hit on the other skeleton now.
You're going to hit on the skeleton? I question your taste.
All right. I don't have a response to that. Okay, so we'll roll. And, 2.
2. All right, so 2 is within your base
hit.
range, correct?
Yeah, so it's a critical hit.
Add your luck to it.
So that would be, damage, so the 7 plus 5, so that's 12.
Okay, 12 damage. That's a mighty hit. Bonzo cannot take another one of those. You can just see it from
I hit the skeleton.
The Bonzo just staggers backwards because he's so surprised that you got in such a good hit on the skeleton, and that's enough to kill it. You may describe the skeleton's re-death.
Each bone falls apart individually from his body and makes an individual clanking sound as it hits the ground.
Very nice. All right, bam. Now it's Bonzo's turn. Bonzo is not happy about his skeletal friend falling apart. So he steps back, and he casts fire magic on you. And because I've been trying to look this up to have things be as authentic as possible to Final Fantasy, magic defense, there's sort of some question marks about how it actually works. So to simplify it, I am simply going to say that your magic defense is your intelligence.
Okay. So that's fairly high.
So that your intelligence is going to act as your absorb for magic, so it's damage reduction.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you a number, and then you subtract out whatever your intelligence is, and then you take whatever damage is left over to a minimum of 1. So no matter what, you're going to take 1 damage.
So the absorb from the cloth, does that not do anything for this?
Correct, because this is magic, not a physical attack.
Okay.
It sort of transcends cloth.
It's a magic.
All right, so magic is an automatic hit. But it's the amount of damage. So he deals 15 damage to you.
Okay, and my intelligence is 15, so that would be 1.
So you absorb 15 of it, except for the one that you have to take. So you take 1 damage from his fire magic. He frowns at you. He becomes a sad, frowny clown.
Again.
No. He was a sad clown before. Now he's a sad, frowny clown. You better watch out.
Gosh, so different.
Yes. The old man tries to wail on the skeleton. Skeleton tries to dodge out of the way. Skeleton does not dodge out of the way. And he takes a face full of sword and explodes into shattery bits. The old man says, "Yes! Oh. White Mage, your turn."
Okay, so if I try to back up towards the old man, will it be easier for him to come in and attack?
Because normally it would, like in any other RPG, but because this is super, super simplified, we'll just assume that they can cross, unless they've run out of the vicinity of, if he ran out of the tent, we'll just assume that he's close enough to be able to join any combat with anybody.
So if I attack Bonzo, old man can come in and...
Yeah, he could swoop in on his next turn and assist you.
Okay. So why don't I just go for Bonzo then?
Okay. You're not going to ruse yourself?
Well, I feel like with the magic, I feel like apparently 12 was quite a lot for him. So.
Yes, using the DM slip to your advantage. Good for you.
So I think it seems like I can handle it.
I think you're right.
And I can always ruse, because ruse is basically almost invincibility, temporary invincibility.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't land a solid hit, it's guaranteed evasion.
So I can always duck into that if things go south.
Yep.
So I'll roll to hit, and it is 50. Oh no, sorry. Oh wait, 55. So that's secure hit.
So he can try to dodge. Oh, and he dodges. Does a little clown step to the left. And the old man comes rushing in. And Bonzo, in the same motion as he's dodging, he does a clown step to the left to dodge your hit. He swings back around, does a clown step to the right, and misses. And the old man misses as he rushes in. Clever little dancing clown. This is what happens when you engage with a frowny clown. So, the old man has missed. White Mage, go.
Alright, so let's go on for another attack with my hammer.
Hammer.
So, a 9.
9 is a hit, but is that within your base range?
It's not within my base range, so it's not a critical.
Yep, it's a hit, and that's a guaranteed hit because it is still within your hit percent.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's 2 damage. No, 7 damage because I have the weapon.
Okay, so so you rolled for. Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't give you a rolling ability for this. So it's just a solid 7 damage. Yep, That's a good hit. His frown goes down. He's an even frownier clown. And Bonzo turns to the old man and tries to fry him with lightning this time. Oh, oh, that's the other way around. Oh, yes, okay.
Does lightning get past the super evade?
Sorry, I'm doing math. Yes. Yeah, lightning gets past the super evade because, again, that's only for physical damage, evading physical damage. Magic is like zoom. And so the old man's smart enough, but his magic defense isn't terribly high. So that's a pretty solid hit. The old man goes, oh! Gets zapped by lightning and keels over.
Like, what kind of keel over?
Keels over, like he falls to the ground, but then he catches himself, and then he sits back up on one knee.
Okay.
So he's down, but not dead.
Okay. Is there time to shout, like, anything to him?
Yes.
Or will that use up any?
No, you can shout. Talking is a free action, as it were. You can do as much talking as you like.
So I shout to him if is he okay? How's he feeling?
Well, I could use one of those potions that you have.
Okay.
But if you don't mind, I'll just use it myself. And then he holds up a potion. For Final Fantasy purposes, all of your party items are shared.
That's nice.
So what we assume is that you all have backpacks or pockets that are linked through a dimensional portal. So he can reach into his pocket and pull out your potion.
Okay.
So be careful not to leave your wallet in any of those pockets. So he pulls out a potion. You are now down to one potion. And goop, 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 drinks it, and he is back up some health.
Wait, did that use whose turn did that use?
That was his turn.
Or wasn't it my turn?
He was the one drinking the potion. No, it was Bonzo attacked him with lightning.
Okay.
And then it was the old man's turn. He took your potion. Doesn't matter that
okay.
it's your potion. It's the party potion.
Okay.
He took a potion and restored some hit points. And then it is White Mage's turn.
So at this point, I think it's time for another hit.
Okay.
So 88. So no secure hit. He can evade.
He can, and he's gonna. He's not gonna, actually. That you may land a hit on him.
So 7.
7 damage. Very good. He's hurting.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like another blow like that, you might take him out. But the old man is going to try to punk your kill.
Dang it, old man.
And, oh man, Bonzo is just on the ball today. He just does a little sort of hip slide out of the way and dodges the old man's sword that comes swinging in quite gracefully. Back to the White Mage.
Old man's not getting a good hit percentage here. Alright, so roll to hit. 60.
Nope, he's got a chance to dodge. Wow! Oh no, I'm sorry, those numbers are backwards. No, you totally hit him.
Okay, so 7.
So 7 damage, and you may describe Bonzo the Clown's tragic death.
His frown continues to go down throughout his entire being until he is just a clown down on the ground. And then he explodes in confetti.
Bravo, okay. Dead, kablam. And you just feel spontaneously the need to throw your arms up in the air to celebrate. You have slain Bonzo the Sinister Clown and his skeletal creepy clown minions. And you and the old man gain experience. So you all together, let's see.
Did I not gain experience from the dwarf one because we just knocked her almost unconscious?
Oh, you know what? We'll pretend that you gained XP too. So you gained a bajillion XP and leveled up many times. And as Bonzo explodes into confetti, you can hear a voice saying, "No! If I can't survive here, neither will you! I'll take this whole realm with me!"
No!
And you feel the world start to wobble. Everything starts to shift and melt, and you can see the old man saying, "Well, it was fun while it lasted. I'll see you some other time, perhaps." And the whole world melts away into darkness. And you suddenly wake up in your bed in Melmond, and realize that it was all a dream, and that you're not actually wearing a cloth right now because you're sleeping, and that'd be weird, and you don't have an iron hammer or a bajillion experience points. It was
all my bajillion experience points.
So hooray, you have successfully completed the random training mission.
Cool.
So, you feel comfortable enough with that?
Yeah, I think I've got that. So any of this stuff that happened here I don't keep.
Correct.
So I'll just delete all of that.
However, you will more than likely be buying some or all of that at the beginning of the quest.
Okay, so I'll keep it down. I'm changing all the numbers back, but I'm keeping all that stuff down.
Sure.
In case of getting it later.
Right.
Just draw a little line that says that's not real stuff. It's just backup information. Okay. Cool.
All right. Good.